There's a massive fortress sitting in the middle of the ocean. Not near a city, not near land. Just out there. And the weirdest part, it wasn't built for people to visit. No. And the deeper you look into it, the less it makes sense. To even get here, you have to make a decision. Because this isn't a place you can accidentally find. You have to choose it. You take a boat or a seaplane, and for hours, there's nothing. No land, no buildings, no real reference point. Just water in every direction. Until suddenly, the structure appears. And it doesn't rise out of the ocean. It kind of like interrupts it, if that makes sense. Like it wasn't supposed to be there. This isn't a small fort. Fort Jefferson is one of the largest brick structures ever built in America. Over 16 million bricks. Walls that feel exclusive. Moats surrounded by nothing. Gun positioning, facing every direction. As if it was preparing for something that never quite came. It was built to hold hundreds of soldiers and prisoners. And the obvious question is, why build something like this out here? The answer starts with control. In the 1800s, this stretch of water sat along one of the most important shipping lanes in the whole world, the Florida Straits. Every ship moving between the Gulf and the Atlantic passed nearby. Trade, military, supply routes, you name it. This wasn't an empty ocean. This was a checkpoint. And whoever controlled it controlled movement. But here's the part people don't think about. There was nothing here. No fresh water, no farmland, no natural resources of any type. No way to survive without constant support from somewhere else. Everything had to be brought in. Every brick, every meal, every drop of water. So this wasn't just construction. It was commitment. A decision to force permanence in a place that rejected it. Construction started in 1846, and it dragged on for decades. But it was never actually finished because the environment pushed back. Heat that didn't break. No. Disease that really spread fast. And isolation that settled in slowly. Until it became the loudest thing there. Eventually, it became a prison. Not for average criminals, no, but for people government wanted. You hear that snorting? That's my dog. It's a little fringy. These people, they wanted to have them forgotten. One of the most famous prisoners was Samuel Mudd. If you remember him from history, it was the doctor that was accused of taking care of John Wilkes Booth, the guy that assassinated Abraham Lincoln. And so they sent him here. Not just to serve time, but to separate him from everything he knew. It was punishment. Because this wasn't just they wanted the distance. And distance changes things, obviously. Because even if you escaped, there was nowhere to go. So, no nearby, clear direction, no second chance. Just open ocean. And time. That's what makes this place different. It's not locked doors that keep you in. It's everything outside of them. And then something worse. A yellow fever outbreak. It moved through the fort quickly. Soldiers, prisoners, anyone inside those walls was exposed. And suddenly, this controlled environment became uncontrollable. Now, it wasn't just isolated. It was dangerous. And even then, people were still stuck there. Eventually, the military abandoned it. Not because it wasn't important, but because it wasn't very sustainable. The cost, the distance, the reality of maintaining control there in a place like this finally caught up with them. So it was left behind. A massive structure built for a purpose that no longer existed. And now, people visit. They snorkel in the same waters, they walk the same walls, they take pictures. Like, it's just another destination. But when you're there, you notice it. The silence isn't quite peaceful. The distance feels different. And the scale of it doesn't match the emptiness around it. Because places built for control, for isolation, for removal, don't just lose that feeling. It stays. Just beneath the surface. So, the question isn't just why this place exists. It's why something this massive, this deliberate, was forced into a place that clearly didn't want it. And what it must have felt like to be sent here, knowing the hardest part wasn't getting in. It was realizing there was no real way out. If you've ever been to Fort Jefferson, tell me what it felt like, because this is one of those places that looks incredible, but feels like something else entirely. See you tomorrow, guys.